My wife faked a breakdown to avoid signing divorce papers. I said nothing. Then I hired a private investigator. 3 days later, her plan collapsed. Mel was married to Julie, 36 for 10 years. The last 2 have been rough, like truly grinding gears no oil rough. We tried counseling, date nights, the works. Nothing. So 6 months ago, I said the D word, divorce. It wasn't pretty. Tears, accusations, the usual. But eventually she seemed to agree. We started the paperwork, aiming for amicable. No kids, thankfully. Assets are straightforward. A house, mostly my down payment, but marital property, I get it, some savings. I was ready to be fair, even generous, just to get it done. Fast forward to last week. My lawyer sends over the final settlement and divorce papers. Standard stuff. I signed, sent them to Julie's lawyer, expected them back promptly. That's when the theatrics began. Julie calls me, voice cracking. Peter, I can't. I just can't. Can't what, Julie? Your lawyer reviewed everything. It's what we discussed. No, I can't do this. I had a moment when the papers arrived. I think I'm having a breakdown. A real one. This was Monday. Julie can be dramatic. She once had a meltdown over her favorite brie being out of stock. But this was Oscar-worthy. Palpitations, dizziness, inability to leave her bed, all triggered, supposedly, by the sight of divorce papers. I went to our old house. I'd moved to a rental a month prior. The place was a mess, not depressed mess, more staged depression mess. Julie was in bed, lights off, clutching a lavender eye pillow. Pale, yes, but an underlying composure. Peter, she whispered, I need you. I can't sign anything. Not now. I'm not, well, you wouldn't kick me when I'm down, would you? Wide, pleading eyes. Here's the thing. I know Julie. Or thought I did. Something felt deeply off. This wasn't grief. It felt like a strategy. A desperate one. I played along. Of course not, Julie. Your health is paramount. We can pause everything, focus on getting better. I even fluffed her pillows, made tea. Inside, my brain was blaring red alert. She asked me to stay the night, on the couch naturally, claiming fear of being alone. I politely declined, citing an early work meeting. Promised to check in. The second I got to my apartment, I was on Google. Private investigator near me. Julie has always been adept at getting her way. Right now, she wanted to avoid signing those papers. Why? Money, probably. Fair isn't everything. Or maybe control. It's a potent drug. Hired a PI the next morning, Tuesday. A discreet ex-cop, Tyler. I explained the situation. Soon-to-be ex faking a debilitating mental breakdown. My suspicion of manipulation. I needed proof. Tyler said he'd start immediately and report any significant findings ASAP, aiming for a fuller picture in a few days. I continued the concerned future ex-husband act. Texts, how are you feeling? Need anything? Short, supportive, non-committal. Her replies, still fragile, can barely eat, the world feels too loud. Yeah, okay, I'm patient. But Julie, honey, you underestimated me. Game on. Update, it's Friday. What a week. On the surface, I'm Mr. Empathetic, checking on Julie. Thinking of you, I text, hope you're resting. It makes my skin crawl now, but the illusion must be maintained. Her responses remain pure melodrama. Julie, thanks Peter, so hard. Dr. Douglas, her GP, said I need complete rest, no stress. Tried to read, couldn't focus. My mind is just shattered. Meanwhile, Tyler the PI has been worth his weight in gold. He called me late Wednesday afternoon, just over 24 hours after he started. Mr. P. Tyler, got some initial, very clear visuals for you. My stomach clenched. Already? Your wife, Julie? Her complete rest is impressively active. He emailed the first batch of photos, clear as day. Photo 1, Julie, Tuesday morning, mere hours after our breakdown discussion. The day PI started, looking chic in activewear, sunglasses on, laughing with her friend Heather, leaving a trendy spin class. Photo 2, Julie and Heather, Tuesday afternoon, at an outdoor cafe, clinking mimosa glasses. The can barely eat Julie was devouring a massive avocado toast. Photo 3, Julie, Wednesday morning, browse expensive handbags at a department store. Not just browse, she was there over an hour. Her shattered mind seemed laser-focused on a designer clutch. My blood pressure spiked. But my face? Poker. This wasn't just about avoiding papers. This was her living it up while angling to paint me as the villain. The audacity. I didn't wait. Thursday morning, I met my lawyer, showed her the initial evidence. She was, to put it mildly, furious on my behalf. This is textbook bad faith, Peter. By Thursday afternoon, Barely 72 hours after Julie's breakdown performance, my lawyer had dispatched a sharply worded letter to Julie's counsel. It stated our awareness of Julie's activities, attached copies of those first damning photos, the spin class, the mimosas, the shopping, and reiterated our expectation that the originally agreed-upon divorce papers be signed by Monday, or we'd be filing to compel and would introduce this evidence of misrepresentation. Seeing those photos, knowing that by Friday, exactly 3 days after hiring Tyler, Julie and her lawyer were now staring at undeniable proof of her charade, I knew her elaborate plan, whatever its full scope, had fundamentally collapsed. She'd been caught, red-handed, in the opening act of her deception. The rest would be her flailing, but the core of her strategy was already dead in the water. I continued my concerned texts to Julie, just to see. Me, Thursday evening, "Hey, just checking in. How was your day?" Julie, voice tight when she finally replied late Thursday. Difficult. Very stressful. I bet it was once her lawyer called her. The entitlement is staggering. She genuinely thought she could pull this off. Tyler also noted she'd hastily scheduled a meeting with a new lawyer for Friday afternoon, not our amicable one. This new one was a known shark. So her original plan A, the breakdown, was already shot, and she was scrambling for a plan B. Too late. The cracks were not just showing, the foundations of her deceit were crumbling. Update. So Julie's original plan to feign a breakdown and delay the divorce indefinitely? That backfired on her pretty spectacularly by the end of last week, thanks to Tyler's swift work and my lawyer's quick countermove. As predicted, receiving that letter with photographic proof of her active recovery sent her and her now new shark lawyer, Mr. Aaron, into a tailspin. But did she gracefully admit defeat? Oh no, entitlement like Julie's doesn't just evaporate, it mutates. Her new strategy, cooked up with Mr. Aaron, was clearly if you can't feign illness, feign victimhood, and escalate demands. The weekend brought the emergency. Saturday morning, a frantic call from Julie. "Julie, Peter? Oh my goodness, you need to come over. It's the basement. It's flooded." Instantly suspicious. Flooded? How? Did a pipe burst? I don't know. I just went down there to get the old photo albums, thought looking at good memories might help my state of mind, and there's water everywhere. My precious memories ruined. And all your old work files are down there too. Told her I'd come. Called Tyler, change of plans, meet me near the house, suspect manufactured crisis. At the house, Julie is in full drama mode. Tear-streaked face or artfully applied water, wringing hands. Disaster, Peter, need a plumber, restoration company, thousands. A brochure for Aqua Resolve emergency plumbers was conveniently on the counter. Basement, half an inch of water in one corner, and a garden hose, snaked in from the outside tap, tucked behind boxes. Outside tap still dripping. I looked at the hose, then Julie. Her face shifted from distraught to busted. Julie. Oh, that I was watering hydrangeas earlier and must have forgotten to. Me, to bring the hose inside and turn it on slightly to flood the basement, Julie. Is that what you forgot? She stammered. No, I mean, it must have, I don't know how. I just shook my head. I'll take care of it. Turned off the tap, coiled the hose, used the wet-dry vac. Done in 20 minutes. Files are fine, Julie. Albums too, I said flatly. Try to be more careful. Her look. Fury, quickly masked by a wounded expression. I'm just so out of it, Peter. Not myself. No kidding. Tyler, parked nearby, documented the whole charade. Monday, Mr. Aaron sends my lawyer an email. A masterpiece of audacity. Claims Julie's recent acute mental health crisis, further aggravated by Mr. P's accusatory response to her breakdown, evidenced by the threatening legal letter containing illegally obtained photographs and subsequent neglect during the basement flooding incident, means she now requires, indefinite, significantly higher spousal support. The entire house, free and clear. Me to cover all her legal fees. Me to pay for her $15,000 essential therapeutic wellness retreat. My lawyer called me, practically laughing. Peter, this is desperation. They know we have her on the initial deceit, so they're trying to muddy the waters and up the ante. Tyler, meanwhile, continued to gather more evidence of Julie's actual lifestyle. A loud concert with Heather, looking very untraumatized, more shopping, dinners out. My evidence folder was becoming a novel. My nice guy patience was long gone. Not that I exploded. I got colder. I told my lawyer, okay, let them have until their original Monday deadline to sign the first agreement. If not, we file everything. Heather, Julie's buddy, even called me, accusing me of stalking and harassment. Me? Heather, this is between lawyers. Julie knows what she did. If she wants this to end smoothly, she knows how. If not, it gets messier and not in her favor. Fraud is serious. Click. The original deadline, Monday for my lawyer's first letter, came and went without the signed papers. Just more bluster from Mr. Aaron. We were ready. Update. Well, folks, it's over. The whole darn circus, and the ending was satisfying, not in a fireworks and explosions way, but in a quiet, watch the house of cards tumble kind of way. After Julie missed the initial Monday deadline set in our first letter, the one with the teaser photos, her lawyer, Mr. Aaron, sent another blustering response filled with more outrageous demands, essentially doubling down on the list from the basement flood aftermath. Pure deflection. My lawyer didn't even bother with another letter. Tuesday morning, she filed our motion to compel, attaching the full dossier Tyler had compiled. Every photo, every time-stamped report of her breakdown activities, spin classes, mimosas, shopping, concerts, dinners out, juxtaposed with her claims of incapacitation, my affidavit about the garden hose incident, and a preliminary look from a forensic accountant at her recent, rather lavish spending on personal credit cards. It painted an undeniable picture of deceit. The court date for the motion was set for the following Monday. That gave them almost a week to stew. The Thursday before the court date, my lawyer gets a call. It's Mr. Aaron. His tone, significantly less shark-like, more like a deflated balloon. He said, and I quote my lawyer here, "My client may have inadvertently given an impression that overstated the extent of her current incapacitation." Really? Mr. Aaron said Julie was now willing to reconsider the original settlement terms and asked if we could meet before the court date to finalize. He sounded like a man whose client had finally confessed the full extent of her lies to him. My lawyer, being the impressive professional she is, said, "Mr. Aaron, the original settlement terms from a position of amicable agreement are long gone, given your client's demonstrable bad faith, her attempts to defraud my client and the court, and the significant unnecessary legal fees and emotional distress she has caused. However, Mr. P is prepared to settle. He will revert to the financials of the original asset division. There will be no spousal support beyond the minimal transitional period initially offered. Furthermore, Miss Julie will be responsible for a significant portion of Mr. P's legal fees incurred due to her fabrications. If these terms are not met, we will happily present our full case, including all evidence of her misrepresentations, in open court on Monday." The silence on the other end, my lawyer said, was profound. Mr. Aaron called back an hour later. "Miss Julie agrees to those terms." Just like that. They wanted to avoid the public humiliation of Tyler's full evidence portfolio being aired. They knew they were defeated. The threat of having to pay my legal fees on top of her own, plus getting absolutely nothing she'd schemed for, was the nail in the coffin. We met at my lawyer's office that Friday. Julie was there with Mr. Aaron. She looked small. Pale, yes, but not artfully so this time. Just defeated. She wouldn't make eye contact with me, signed everything put in front of her. The divorce papers, the revised settlement agreement reflecting the terms my lawyer laid out. No more talk of wellness retreats or lifelong support. No Roomba. The only words she said directly to me in a low mumble as she was leaving were, "You didn't have to be so cruel." I just looked at her. "Julie," I said, my voice quiet but firm. "I wasn't cruel. I was honest and I responded to your actions. You chose deceit. This isn't on me. These are the consequences." She kind of crumpled. Mr. Aaron had to steer her out. The breakdown, miraculously cured. Tyler, doing one final, unnecessary but satisfying for me, check, saw her later that evening. Not at a spin class, at a bar with Heather, drinking, and not mimosas, hard liquor. Looked like she was actually crying this time. Real tears. "So it's done. I'm divorced. I got what was fair." She got what was fair, minus a chunk for my legal fees. Her grand plan, which she thought was so clever, collapsed under the weight of her own lies, starting just days after she initiated it. "The house is being sold. We split the proceeds. I'm good with my rental. It's peaceful. Feel good? Not, yay, I won. More, relieved, vindicated, that the truth came out and her manipulation failed. I didn't set out for revenge, I just wanted out fairly. Her greed and entitlement were her undoing. My lawyer said it's rare to see such a blatant attempt at fraud fall apart so decisively. She credited my calm approach and the quick, solid evidence. To anyone out there dealing with a manipulative ex, stay calm, gather evidence, legally, and let their own actions be their downfall. As for me, I'm looking forward. Moving on. Maybe I'll even buy myself a new Roomba, just because. Thanks for listening, Reddit.